Imagine that you screwed over an entire country and unleashed the real hate of millions of people on yourself. Not the best feeling, right? And this thing is very familiar to some football players. You guys probably already know who are we going to talk about today, right? Well, so let's quickly drop a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let the new episode begin. Uruguayan superstar Luis Suarez is set to leave Atletico Madrid as a free agent this summer, and we know at least one continent he definitely does not consider continuing his career. It's Africa. 12 years ago, at the World Cup in South Africa, El Pistolero made a huge upset for the fans of Ghana national team. During the quarterfinals clash, Uruguay was struggling to beat Ghana. So, with the score 1-1, the game went into the extra time, and in the 120th minute, the Ghanaians were supposed to get their victory and proceed to the semi-final. But a handball from Suarez stopped the ball on the verge of the goal, which prompted a red card for Luis and a penalty for Ghana. Asamoah Gyan, being under huge pressure, eventually failed to score, so the game went to a penalty shootout, in which the Uruguayans came out as winners. This defeat, of course, became a huge tragedy for Ghana, as their national team had a real chance to reach the World Cup semi-finals for the first time in history. But Suarez did his cheeky job. The whole country hated Luis for that. Many years later, the level of anger towards the striker has obviously decreased, but he will certainly not be very welcome in these lands anyway. If Suarez all of a sudden receives an offer from Africa, we wouldn't recommend him to go for that, no matter what. Former Dutch superstar Arjen Robben has a difficult relationship with Mexico. His conflict is something similar to what Suarez has with Ghana, but in his case, the Netherlands played against Mexico in a 2014 World Cup round of 16 and were 0-1 down up until the 88th minute when Wesley Sneijder equalized. And just 2 minutes later, Robben fell down twice in one episode without any significant touch from the rivals. And thanks to its high-class acting performance, the Dutch trickster managed to mislead the referee. And yet, what do you want, guys? There wasn't a VAR system working at that period yet. Hence, the ref pointed to the spot, and after the accurate strike from this penalty, the score became 2-1 and the Dutchman advanced to the next stage. Mexicans obviously did not forgive Robben for his diving and that he didn't confess to the ref. The frustrated fans immediately launched a large information campaign with the slogan, "No era penal," which means it wasn't a penalty. They sent this message on social networks to FIFA and the Netherlands national team pages, showed banners, and even released special t-shirts. Surely, this didn't affect the result of that game whatsoever, and the Mexican team went home in any case. But they still don't like Robben for such behavior, and Mexico is not the place he wants to visit for sure. Jack Grealish is known not only for his drunken adventures and mind-blowing transfer to Manchester City for £100 million, but also for his status as a footballer non grata in Ireland. The 26-year-old player was born in England, but he was connected to the boys in green by the fact that he's from a family of Irish immigrants. From 2011 to 2014, the midfielder played for the Irish national teams of various age categories. But in 2015, he eventually decided to represent England because of the more promising prospects of the Three Lions in the international arena. This decision enraged Roy Keane and many other famous Irish footballers and coaches. The whole Emerald Isle considered Jack a traitor who dared to take advantage of Ireland, making it a stepping stone to the English team. This kind of anger from people is understandable. After all, you just can't act like in football clubs, wandering from one place to another. Though the Irish must have had a huge laugh last summer when Grealish's England lost the Euro 2020 final. Nabil Fekir. Do you remember that name? Yeah, this is the guy who was supposed to join Liverpool but ended up moving to Real Betis. So, Nabil also has enough haters in one particular country. Fekir was born in Lyon, France, but he has dual citizenship due to Algerian roots on his father's side. In 2013-14, it was time for Nabil to make a decision on a youth national team he was going to play in. And my lord, just think about a total farce it turned into. As for about 2 years, Fekir could not voice his final decision. Later, at some point, the player informed the head coach of the Algerian national team, Christian Gourcuff, that he would refuse France and choose his second homeland. This was confirmed even at the official level by the Algerian Football Federation president. However, while this stir went on, Fekir somehow managed to play one game for the French youth team and apparently succumbed to the influence of Les Bleus' coaching staff. After a couple of training sessions and calls from officials, everything was good to go. In 2015, he made the final announcement that he will play for France. 3 years later, Nabil became the World Cup winner and thus he convinced himself that this was the right decision. Though, as for the Algerian fans, they had nothing left but contempt for Fekir, who played on their feelings and expectations. The only messy thing Thierry Henry has in his career became a handball in the 2010 World Cup qualifier playoff. France played against Ireland. The teams were pretty worthy contenders for reaching the tournament, and this was the first time ever the Greens had this opportunity, being one step away from reaching the dream. France won the first match away 1-0, while Ireland scored in regular time in the second match. Owing to the draw result after 2 games, the teams proceeded to the extra time. In the 103rd minute of the match, Henry, with the help of his hand, directed the ball to the feet of William Gallas, who scored and put France ahead. Thierry should have been sent off the pitch, but the referee did not notice the problem at all and awarded the goal, which brought Les Bleus that desirable World Cup ticket. That night, the entire Ireland was in tears, cursing the cheater Henry, but the Frenchman himself had no regrets after this. Here's how the striker justified his actions in a post-match interview. "I will be honest, it was a handball, but I'm not the referee. I played it, the ref allowed it. That's a question you should ask him." Such lies and excuses made Thierry the main enemy of all the football community in Ireland. Nevertheless, aggression subsided as karma worked. France truly embarrassed themselves in South Africa, having achieved only 1 point in 3 matches of the group stage and finishing in last 4th place. Henry and his team got what they deserved. Dear friends, who else do you think would be a great fit for this top? If we missed another huge case, let us know in the comments. Alright then, that was Top Football. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't cheat and be wise. Goodbye guys. See you in the next videos.